Hello everybody, glad to have you back with us again for another one of our mini messages. We're still in Genesis 13. Remember how I'm handling this. I'm just kind of going verse by verse. This is just what we call exegetical study. We're just simply breaking these passages down one at a time and going through. I think it's a really effective way to study scriptures, to take the time to break it down. So let's look in Genesis 13. Let's get verse 5. Okay, Abraham is back in the promised land from Egypt. He has worshiped God. He's traveled. He's between what we know of as the biblical towns of Bethel and Ai. And now here he is in verse 5, and he's going to have a little bit of a personal conflict here. Listen to this. It says, Lot, remember that's his nephew, who was traveling with Abram, had also become very wealthy with flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and many tents. There's some rich folks. But the land could not support both Abram and Lot, with all their flocks and herds living so close together. So disputes broke out between the herdsmen of Abram and Lot. And at the time, Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land. He has the problems with Lot. Lot pretty much, throughout the book of Genesis, the parts that we see him in, is nothing but a problem for Abraham. Because he wasn't supposed to bring him. Remember, leave your family, leave your household, leave all these things. He was to bring his wife with him, but that was it. That was the end of it. He was supposed to bring her and no one else. But what does he do? He brings the nephew. Lot is never anything but a problem from start to finish for him. And the reason is it's partial obedience. And see, we like to do this a lot. We like to be partially obedient to God. We want to do part of what he's asking us to do, but we don't want to go that whole way because it's difficult, because it's not what we want, because it's not comfortable. See, God wants us all in. Like I think about this, like even with church. You know, a lot of people, they'll be there like Sunday morning, but God's saying to them, I want you to serve. I want you to be in a small group. I want you to really find a place to belong. I want you to really see you grow. And that's kind of uncomfortable because it might take a little more effort. It takes a little more time. It takes a little more of our resources. We're now tapping into some of our time and our talents and our abilities to serve and do these things. And that's not real comfortable. It takes a little extra. Just coming for an hour on Sunday morning, that feels pretty good. But God's looking for more. So he loves that part. He loves us coming and gathering together for corporate worship and being in the room together and singing and praising and praying and giving and opening his word. He loves it. But he's also saying there's more. See, when we stop at that point, a lot of times there's partial obedience because our relationship with God is supposed to flow over much more than just Sunday morning. So Abraham was partially obedient here, and so he's going to have trouble. There's these disputes that come up. And we can also think about it from this point of view. He's now gotten his life back right with the Lord. Had the issue in Egypt. If you haven't watched those videos, go back and see what I'm talking about, the issues he had in Egypt with Sarah. So now here he is back in the promised land doing what he's supposed to be doing. And what happens? Conflict. Look, when you're seeking God, I'm going to tell you something. When you're trying to be obedient to God, let me let you in on a clue. You're going to have some problems. You're going to have conflict. People are going to come against you. I see it constantly. I see it in friends that I talk to that are in ministry. I see it with families when they're trying to seek the Lord. There's going to be obstacles. Satan wants to throw these obstacles in front of us. So how will Abraham deal with this? Well, I guess you'll just have to come back for our next video to see how he takes care of it. And he has a fantastic solution and handles it in a very godly fashion. So we'll see you tomorrow with that one, but you have a blessed day today.